Okay, so pull out your books. We're going to start today on... No, it's totally different from what we did. Okay, page 117. So today we're going to be working with story problems, your favorite. 117. So example number 1. You want to create a custom border for a picture of you and your closest friends, which, if you're Ren, means you're by yourself. The picture measures 5 inches by 7 inches. What should the width of the border be if the final area, including the border, is twice the area of the picture? Okay, so you see this picture. The center represents the actual picture, 5 by 7. So the area of that is going to be 35 square inches. All right? And I'm going to put a border that has the height of the border and the width of the border is the same number. What is the area enclosed by the frame? Twice the area of the regular picture, so the blue is going to be 70 inches squared. Okay? The unknown is how wide the border should be. So this 70 inches, some length times some width equals 70 inches. How wide is the frame? Five plus x plus x. So we have some unknown x value here and here. So it's x plus 5 plus x, which is 5 plus 2x. Going to times that by the height. How tall is this picture? 7 plus 2x. Good. 7 plus 2x equals 70. Now what? We will, but we need to distribute first. So 2x and 2x is 4x squared. 5 and 2x is plus 10x. 2x and 7 is plus 14x. 5 and 7 is plus 35 equals 70. Combine like terms. 4x squared, 10 and 14 is 24x. Subtract this. Can I pull out a 4? No. So what I'm looking for are the roots of this quadratic. Can I guarantee that this quadratic factors? No. So we could use a quadratic formula. So length times width equals 70. So I subtracted 70 to make it equal to 0. Yeah, 35 minus 70 is negative 35. Okay, well, I don't really care how you solve the quadratic. And quadratic formula will give us an answer with the square root in it, and then we'll have to find out what the decimal is anyway. Why don't we just graph it? So I'm going to graph, maybe, when my calculator wakes up. So 4x squared plus 24x minus 35. What do you notice about this? We can save ourselves some time. I only need the positive number. Why is that? Right. So my x is positive because I'm going outside the picture. If it was negative, then I would end up kind of flipping the picture around, and that's not going to work out. So all I need to find is the positive root. The negative root makes no sense. So second calc 0. It's between 0 and 2. So left bound 0, right bound 2. And my guess is 1. 1.21. So the question asks 2. What should the width of the border be if the final area is twice? So it's 1.2. If it asked you what the dimensions of the frame were, how would you figure that out? Well, we would just double it. So we'd have 5 plus 1.2 plus 1.2. So 5 plus 2.4, this is 7.4. And 7 plus 2.4 would be 9.4. Well, 9.42, whatever. Okay? That one wasn't too bad, right? Okay, turn the page. So, Caitlin, for your sake, we're going to do example 2, but it's just like example 1. Let's look at the work problems. So it gives us here a formula. T over A plus T over B equals 1, where A is the amount of work for A to complete the work alone, and B is the amount of time for B to complete the work alone, and T is the amount of time needed for A and B to work together. So let's say that Chase and I were chopping wood, and it takes him 4 hours to chop 3 logs. Yeah, you're not very good. And it only takes me 1 hour to chop 3 logs. So his time would be A, and my time would be B, and then T equals how much time it would take us to chop together. And that always equals 1, the work of one job. Okay. So if a job takes him 4 hours and it takes me 3 hours, together we could probably get it done in an hour and a half or something like that. So Britain, I don't know where they get these names. Britain can refinish the floor in 9 hours. So that would be A. He can do one job in 9 hours. Britain and Jason can finish the floor together in 4 hours. So that would be T. How long would it take Jason to finish the floors himself? So in these problems, you're going to be given 2 of the 3 pieces of information, and then you have to find the third. So in this case, we're looking for B. So 4 over 9 plus 4 over B equals 1. How are we going to solve for B? Subtract 4/9. And we're smart. What is 1 minus 4 over 9? 5 over 9. So 4 over B equals 5 over 9. Now what? Cross multiply, and you have to remember 0 cannot be a possibility. So if the answer ends up being 0, then the problem is impossible, has no solution. So we cross multiply. 5b equals 36. So b equals 36 fifths, which is 7.2. So it would take Jason 7.2 hours to finish the job all by himself. All right, turn the page. This one's a little bit more tricky. A tugboat goes, boy, that's good English. A tugboat goes 12 miles an hour in still water. It travel it travels 45 miles upstream and 45 miles back in 8 hours. What is the speed of the current? How fast is the river traveling? So this formula is similar to the one we just did. The distance divided by the first rate plus the distance divided by the second rate is equal to the total time. Does that make sense? So the distance is 45 miles, and the rate is 12 miles an hour in still water, and the time is t. So what are rate 1 and rate 2? Has something to do with 12. 12 minus the rate and 12 plus the rate. So 8 over 12 minus r plus 8, no, that's wrong. 45. I got it backwards. Thank you. 45 plus 45 over 12 plus r equals 8 hours. This is a little bit harder. How do we solve this? How do you do that? You're right. We need a common denominator. Okay? So what's my common denominator going to be? 12 minus r times 12 plus r. So what does the first fraction need? This one needs a 12 plus r. What does the second fraction need? 12 minus r. What does the 8 need? Both of them. So I'm going to put 12 minus r and 12 plus r. And then once everything has the common denominator, what do? If we had 3 over a plus 4 over a equals 2x over a, how can we make this easier? Take out all the a's. Because if they're all divided by the same thing, we might as well just get rid of it. So once they have a common denominator, we can forget that the denominator even exists. So what is 45 times 12? 450, 500, 400 and 540? Oh, yeah, that's right. 540 plus 45r plus 540 minus 45r equals, this is going to be 8 times 144 minus r squared. Those are conjugates, right? So 12 times 12, and then I get 12r and negative 12r. Those cancel. Negative r times r is negative r squared. So 1080, those cancel, equals, what is that? 1152 minus 8r squared. Now what? Subtract 1152, 2072, negative 72. So negative 72 equals negative 8r squared. Divide by 8, negative 8. So r squared equals 9. So r equals plus or minus 3. Well, in this case, it doesn't really matter. It gave us both answers at once. So, well, technically only one of them counts, right? But which one counts? Either one. Because if I put a positive 3 in here, I'm going to get 9. No, if I put a positive 3 in, yeah, 9 and 15. If I put a negative 3 in, what do I get? 15 and 9. So you get to pick which one you want in this case. They both work. They don't work at the same time. They work separately. Square root. We did negative 72 divided by negative 8. Sorry, I should have written that down. All right, let's go back to that example that we skipped. Example 2. The height of a plastic rectangular prism. So we're looking at, ooh, I am an artist. Looking at this. Is 4 inches shorter than the width. So if I call this W, then the height is W minus 4. The length is 7 inches longer than the width. So this piece here is W plus 7. And the volume is 5304. So the formula for volume is length times width times height. So we're going to have W times W minus 4 times W plus 7. Everybody understand that? So do you know how to find volume? You just multiply all three together. So here are the three, W, W minus 4, and W plus 7. So let's do these two first. W squared plus 7W minus 4W minus 28. And all of that is times W. So that is W to the third. 7 minus 4 is 3W. And if I bring in the other W, 3W squared minus 28W equals 5304, but I don't want it to equal 5304. I want it to equal 0, so I'm just going to subtract 5304. Now, there is a way to factor cubes, to factor, what are they called? Cubic equations. But I don't really care. How can we find the answers? Graph it and find the roots. How many roots can it have? It could have 3, or could it have 2? So that would be 3 answers. Is it possible to move that graph so it only has 2 answers? If I move it up to right there, it would have 2. Is it possible to have 1? Yes. Is it possible to have none? No. It has to hit at least once. If the polynomial is odd, it has to hit at least one time. Oh, thank you. I missed a positive. Okay. So x to the third. Oh boy. So x to the third plus 3x squared minus 28x minus 5304. Graph. I don't see it. Did anyone see anything? So, I need to change my window. What should my window be? Well, do I need to see any negative numbers? Well, let's look. So if W was -1, W minus 4 would be -5. So it's got to be bigger than 4, right? And other than that, we don't know. So let's say from 0 to 50. See if that does it. Okay, and there's a cool button. If you push zoom and you go up, oh, never mind. On the old calculators, used to be up. So somewhere down, you see zoom fit, it's 0. Zoom fit will change your Y values so that your X values are matched. And it'll fill the whole screen. So it's somewhere in there, 0 to 50, maybe 20, 25. So second calc 0. And I'm going to guess from 0 to 30, maybe 20, 17. Can I be sure that's the only answer? Yes, no? Well, you see how it's increasing and increasing? Because of that, we can be sure that this is the only positive number. There might be negative roots that we can't see, or there might not. We don't know. But the answer here is 17, so it asks, what are the dimensions of the container? Well, 17 by 13 by 24, right. So we just plugged 17 into those. Okay, so you have about 20 minutes to work on this. If you have questions, please ask. And it's Friday, so have a good weekend.